Good morning, dear students. We are going to learn English second. Lesson 1, The Swan Queen. So let's read the lesson and learn about it. Alright? Open your book. The Swan Queen. See the book. Once upon a time, there lived an old man and an old woman. Every morning, they went out to a nearby forest to collect dry wood and leaves. The moment they left the house, a white swan would come flying there. She would remove her wings and put them aside. Then she would turn into a maid, light the fire, cook the dinner, clean and wash everything and fly away. So, once upon a time, there lived an old man and an old woman. So, every morning they would go to the nearby forest to collect dry wood and dry leaves. So, as soon as they leave the house, then one white swan would come flying to their house and remove the wings and keep aside, and she would turn into a maid and she would light the fire, cook the dinner, bring water from the well and clean everything for them, and after finishing all the work she would fly away. Okay. Next. The old people were very happy. They returned home each day to find everything done for them. But they wondered as to who their kind helper was. So by seeing this, old people were very happy. But they did not know who was doing the work for them. Okay. Now next. One day, the old man remained at home alone. He hid behind a tub and waited to see what would happen. After some time, the swan came flying in. She folded her wings and kept them aside. Then she turned into a maid and went to the well to fetch water. The old man at once took away her wings and burnt them. So, daily it was going on. Okay. When the old people go for the work to collect the dry wood and dry leaves, then the swan comes and turns into a maid and cooks the food, bring water for them, clean all the vessels or clean everything and go away. Okay, daily. So one day what happened is old man wanted to know that who is doing this work for them. So he remained at home and wanted to see who is that person. And he hid himself near the tub. Okay. Then he saw that after some time, who comes there? A swan comes flying in their home and removes the wings and keeps aside and goes for bringing water. This swan turns into a maid and goes to bring water for them. That time the old man, what he does? He takes the wings and burns them. Okay. Now what happens? Let's see ahead. The maid returned with 2 pailfuls of waters. She cooked food and did the other work. When she was ready to leave, she could not find her wings. She cried out badly. Now she would not be able to meet her mother, father and her love. So, the maid returned with 2 pailfuls of water. She brings the water from the well. Okay. Then, after cooking food and doing all the work, now she wants to go back home. But she doesn't find the wings. When she could not find her wings, then she cried very badly. She cried badly because she cannot go back her home and she cannot meet her father, mother and her love. Okay, next. There was nothing she could do. So she had to stay with the old people. Now she cannot do anything, so she has to remain back because her wings are lost. So she can't turn into a swan again. Are you understanding? Okay, so she has to remain with these old people. There is no other chance. Okay, next. One day a king came hunting near the forest where they lived. He saw the maid and liked her well. He said to the old people, I must have the maid. Give her to me and you can have as many pieces of gold as you like. So one day what happened? A king comes near the forest for hunting. So he sees the maid. After seeing the maid, he liked the maid. So he wanted to marry her. So he asked these old people to give this maid to him. And instead of that, in return, he would give them gold coins. Okay. Now next, the old couple gave him the maid. The king brought her to his palace and married her, and a son was born to them. So these old people needed money, so they gave the maid to king's hand. Okay, and they were married, and a son was born to them. Turn the page. One day the queen came out into the garden with her baby, and what did she see? Some swans came flying over her. At their head flew her father singing. So when this queen was sitting in the garden, that time, who comes there? Some swans. So many swans come there flying over her. At their head flew her father singing. Okay. When she was sitting in the garden with her baby, then so many swans came there flying, and her father sings. Okay, what she sings? Let's see. In this garden, my daughter I see, though she has no wings, yet a swan she is. Swan is she. Her fingers are covered with golden rings. To her little son, a song she sings. From a little gold book, she reads him a tale. A pair of white wings to her I'll throw, and she will leave her son, and with us she will go. So what is the song of her father? In this garden my daughter I see, though she has no wings, yet a swan is she. Even if she doesn't have the wings, but she is the swan. She is my daughter. That is what his father is singing, isn't it? Her fingers are covered with golden rings. To her little son a song she sings. From a little gold book she reads him a tale. Tale is story. Okay, tale means story. A pair of white wings to her I will throw. So I will throw the pair of wings, white wings to her, and she would leave her son, and with us she will go. Okay, that is the song of her father. Next, tears poured from Queen's eyes, and she sang out in reply. So by listening this song, tears came out of Queen's eyes, and she also in reply sang. Okay, she sang back. What is that? Let's see. Do not throw me the wings, for you come too late. I won't leave my son to an orphan's fate. So she sings that, do not throw me wings. I don't want to leave my son in orphan's fate. That is what the queen sings back. Now next, just then the king came up to her. Why are your eyes red with weeping? Asked he. So just then while singing, after singing this queen, after the queen sings, the king reaches there. Okay, king also comes there and he asks, why are your eyes red with weeping? What happened? Why are you crying? Okay. Our little son cried and it made me cry too. The queen replied. So what queen says? Queen says that our son cried, our little son cried, so it made me to cry. By seeing him, I too cried. That is what queen says to the king. Understood? So, I think we will stop the class here. We will be continuing the next class. Okay, the same lesson will be continuing. So, please read the lesson again and learn it well. Okay, learn the story well. See you in next class. Thank you.